Merry Christmas! This is Mac Possessed, and today I will be addressing the L2P issue in PvP. This comment is sent too often in lieu of helpful information, so I am here to fix that. We were all noobs once, even I was in 2006, so now it is my job to make you a PvP pro. First, I have listed some interface settings that will help. I will recommend such add-ons as Healers Have to Die and BG Defender, and any of my macros are available by request. Avoid Swifty macros, as these will make you less versatile. Now, in a BG, we don't need quests, so hide them. We don't want to be blinded by a giant map, so Shift M for a small one. Shift and space for scoreboard, and look for players from the same server. If you see 5 people from the same one, it's a pre-made group of people using headsets, so leave. /I for /I or BG for the chat, and set focus a healer if you like, so you can be in range of heals at all times. Next, gear. Since it gets boosted now, bring a set of lower leveled stuff from Dalaran to get the set bonuses. Set bonuses make you stronger, so not having a full PvP set is much less painful than it used to be. I would also like to cover the spacebar mashing known as bunny hopping. Since you still occupy the same digital space as shown by my range display add-on, you aren't doing anything to help yourself. Let's cover the roles in PvP. Defenders. Defenders are people who protect bases and flags, which are called nodes. You can kill stuff on it or hold enemies back so they can't reach it. Use any skill in your arsenal to hold them off and keep area of effect damage going so you can stop from flag captures. Call encompassings when you can't easily take on an enemy. Sometimes people don't notice it, but adding skulls to a macro seems to work wonders. But defending isn't just sitting on a node. Self-sacrifice won't get you this kind of a reaction, but it will give your team extra time to prepare a defense. Holding your own against 3 or more enemies helps slow everyone down so that your team can assemble faster. Team Deeps! All I will want to say about DPS is objectives, objectives, objectives. If you are not chasing after an objective or defending one, then you are wrong. It is helpful if you create a gap for people to run through when they carry a flag, but if you're not doing something that is actually helping the rest of the team to succeed, then you are wrong. Fighting in strategic places can make it hard for the enemy to reach your flag. Right here, there are only 2 ways to get to the Alliance flag room, and we are blocking off both. Your main focus aside from getting objectives is to kill enemy healers and protect your own. Crowd control healers that are particularly hard to kill and come back to them, never letting one out of your sight to free cast. And always use interrupts to stop either strong heals or extremely harmful spell casts, and remove enemy buffs if you can to try to weaken your enemies. Work as a team to assist your teammates. This means melee should put up a wall in front of healers and casters should look for opportunities to disable the enemy or place gaps for flag carriers to get through, and use spells that benefit others. Pulling an enemy off of a very important teammate such as a flag carrier or a healer is called peeling. This should be done as often as humanly possible. If you wish to be successful while fighting in PvP, then the #1 thing you have to remember to do is to try to outsmart the enemy. Try to anticipate their next move, that way that whenever they use a crowd control effect, or if they try to do something to run away, you can counter it. Since your enemy is also working as a team, try to limit the amount of people who are entering a fight. If you can take 1 person out, that's just 1 less person you have to worry about. The temptation to run off and fight somebody on your own is usually very strong. Try to avoid doing this as often as possible. Remember, this isn't all about you. This is about winning. If you want to win, you need to work as a team. And here's a little secret about top kills and damage. No one cares. At all. If you're doing top kills and damage, then that means that you're more focused on just killing stuff than winning. Solo Deeps. Although most people seem to like to play this way, only a few different classes should venture on their own, or in a pair such as Hunters, Rogues, and Druids. You can ninja cap bases, individually guard one, or grab flags quickly to bring out to your team. Since these classes tend to outrun teammates and function better in stealth, They should not be carriers during a standoff of both teams holding the flag. Click the flag buff to drop it, allowing someone stronger to pick it up. When picking off enemies, try to look for the best opportunity. If you really want an easy target, try not to go for someone who is already mounted. Mounted enemies can still run away as soon as a stun or a root effect wears off. This makes it much harder for you to chase them down. Since you are working on your own, you should be able to pay more attention to what's happening on the battlefield. When you see enemies in the distance looking to close in on one of your bases and the rest of your team doesn't notice, try to intercept them. Also, when an enemy is kited or lured away from a base, you or a teammate can capture the flag while their tunnel vision keeps them in combat. And just because you are working on your own, that does not mean that you should only be out doing things for yourself. Look out for the team whenever you can, but only jump in once in a while. If you see an enemy on the way to an objective, do some drive-by DPS. And while your team may be chasing after the objective, you can cut the objective off while waiting in a different area. Make sure you can prepare yourself for a proper ambush. That way, your enemy flag carrier has nowhere to go and you can just ruin his day. Remember, your class is annoying to others, so try to piss off as many people as possible and make the enemy really want to kill you and work hard for it. The downside to this is that you always need to prepare an escape plan. Even before you enter a building, try to think of how you're going to get out. Healing. This is truly the most difficult role in PvP since you are a target. As an aggressive healer, cast quick heals and break enemy line of sight or stand in areas that your enemies don't want to go, like a hunter's flare, traps, or blade storming warriors. When healing at bases, I find it better to stand right by the node. That way, your team is more likely to assist you, because the enemy is right on top of the objective. Use area crowd control, like roots and fear bombs, to hold off multiple enemies. This will help you to escape and assist objectives. The objective is always more important than any of your teammates. Remember, some players may actually be trying to self-sacrifice themselves, so if you go with them, then you're going to die and won't be able to heal the rest of the team. If somebody really wants to be healed, then they will stay near you. If not, then they can just set focus you so they can see your dot on the minimap at all times. I personally feel that if someone runs far enough away from my healing, then they deserve to die for abandoning an objective. Distance healing is standing far back from the fight and using your team to put a roadblock between you and the enemy. Doing this while standing on a node is ideal, but it makes you vulnerable to a rogue attack. You will find that you are often crowd controlled and can either use a trinket or wait for the effect to expire. Sometimes it's best to wait for a good moment to use the trinket and just sit there and take the short duration of a crowd control effect. Flag carriers. This is the job everyone tries to have, and few do properly. Running ahead of your team can just get you cornered and killed. Use your defenses appropriately and wait for an opening before sprinting ahead. I am used to fighting my way across, so I would rather find someone who can help me fight as opposed to running headlong into a whole bunch of people and praying that I can make it or that people can catch up to me. Sometimes you'll have a good team who is actually able to peel off of you and help you escape. Even when you do have a clear path to the flag room, check behind you and make sure that someone isn't about to come and ruin your day. I hope this video is helpful. Please like, subscribe, comment, or ask me for help with macros. This is Mac once again wishing you all a happy holiday season.